Have you heard the phrase dropping the ball? Well, it's used when someone makes a mistake or makes a serious lapse in judgment. Yesterday, we told you about the Solomon Islands and its security pact with China. It has been signed. The Solomon Islands fall under Australia's sphere of influence. Already, Australia has a similar security pact with them. Then why did the Solomon Islands sign a second deal with China? Did Australia drop the ball? And that is the question being asked in Canberra. The Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison is under the lens. He is facing some tough questions from the opposition. The rival Labour Party says Morrison bungled a key security relationship. The leader of opposition, Anthony Albanese, is not mincing his words.
This is a major foreign policy failure by Australia. What we have here is the Solomons that since the Second World War we have all known how strategic a site it is. Less than 2,000 kilometres from Townsville and Cairns. They're closer to the Solomons than we are now to Perth. And this has happened on our back door.
It's a serious threat indeed. Australia could have a Chinese base, but just 1,000 miles away from its borders. The specifics of the security pact are still not out, but going by the draft that leaked last month, the Solomons were willing to grant visitation rights to ships from the PLA. And it's not like Australia did not see this coming. The Morrison government is being questioned for its approach. It had an opportunity to negotiate with the Solomon Islands, but reports claim Morrison did not send his foreign minister. He chose someone else to handle the problem. And here is how the Australian Prime Minister defended his decision.
New Zealand and Australia works very carefully in these issues. And one of the things we strongly agree on and how we handle this issue within our Pacific family, we're siblings. There are not children and adults in that relationship. We treat the Pacific family as siblings and as family. And our view is very much that you don't go around stomping around telling leaders in Pacific Islands what they shouldn't and shouldn't do. You work with them respectfully and carefully.
We'll deal with it within the family. That is Morrison's answer. Well, one of Australia's key allies is not convinced. The United States of America, the Biden administration is sending a high-level delegation to the Solomons now. America says the security pact seems a shadowy deal. The White House has issued a statement. Let me quote here. "We are concerned by the lack of transparency and unspecified nature of this agreement, which follows a pattern of China offering shadowy, vague deals with little regional consultation in fishing, resource management, development assistance, and now security practices." These are valid concerns. China and the Solomons have been vague about the pact. Is it the same one that was leaked last month? The one that allowed Chinese ships to replenish in the Solomons? The one that allows Chinese soldiers to set foot in the country? If that is what Honiara has agreed to, it could lead to serious repercussions. The influence of the Chinese military will extend well beyond its borders. The terms of that leaked draft can be interpreted in any way. It covers almost anything that is connected to China. The Chinese citizens, the Chinese businesses, the Chinese infrastructure projects. Beijing could use any of this to deploy troops to the Solomons. Honiara is trying to reassure the world. It still says there will be no Chinese base in the Solomons.
Solomon Islands Foreign Minister, the Honourable Jeremiah Manele, has signed the Security Cooperation Framework with his People's Republic of China counterpart, State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang He a few days ago. Solomon Islands has taken a sovereign decision to broaden its security cooperation with more countries guided by our security strategy. I ask all our neighbours, friends and partners to respect the sovereign interests of Solomon Islands on the assurance that the decision will not adversely impact or undermine the peace and harmony of our region.
The decision will not undermine peace of our region. If that is the case, why not release the agreement to the public? Remember, there were violent anti-China protests in the Solomons last year. A poll had found that 90% of the islanders want to work with democracies. 79% rejected the idea of Chinese aid. But now China has a security pact with the Solomons. The citizens of the Solomon Islands deserve to know its specifics. And so does the rest of the world. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.